can't use the can opener.
Oh, I'm sorry, Martha, I forgot.
Kids, turn off the television. I'm using the mixer.
Mom said we could watch.
Mrs. Muir, I'm working with a dozen egg whites.
Well, I'm sorry, Jonathan, but the cake has priority.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm either going to have to send out bulletins or give up baking.
You know, this just gets more ridiculous every day. You can't use the can opener when the toaster's on.
Well, you can if the dryer's off.
What happens when the dryer's on?
Well, you can't use the vacuum cleaner or the washing machine or the upstairs lights. Oh, no. Don't use the sink.
What happened?
Well, that's a new wrinkle. You can't run the water inside the house when the lawn sprinklers are on.
Martha, we're slowly going down the drain.
She blows. I told you.
How do we stop it?
I'll go turn off the lawn sprinklers.
Madam, fear not, I'm here.
And that does it. I'm just going to have to bring this kitchen up to date.
You're going to tamper with my galley. Let me tell you, madam, that I designed every foot of this room. People came from miles around to marvel at it.
Well, that was 100 years ago.
A thing of beauty is a joy forever.
Captain, you just saw what happened.
I also showed you how simple it is to fix.
Well, unfortunately, when nothing happens. And I'm afraid you leave something to be desired.
Surrounded by the bank, the restaurant, the market over here, with the lovely reflecting pool. And of course, the entire property will be landscaped. So if you'll buy this parcel of property through me, Miss Rutledge, I shall try and use my vast influence to help you get your shopping center started by next fall.
Frankly, Mr. Gregg, I don't think your firm is large enough to handle a transaction of this size.
No, don't let these modest offices deceive you, Miss Rutledge. Remember, modest offices bespeak a humble man. If you don't mind my saying so, I control some of the largest properties in this state.
Hi, Claymore.
Oh, hello, Mrs. Muir.
Oh, I hope I'm not interrupting anything.
It is perfectly all right. Miss Charity Rutledge, may I present Mrs. Carolyn Muir, another one of the very prominent people I deal with.
How do you do?
Hello. Mrs. Muir is an associate of mine operating one of my larger and more valuable operations, a very, very big plant. What can I do for you, Mrs. Muir?
Fix my kitchen.
Fix her kitchen. The industrial kitchens, of course. Well, that's much too huge a job. We better take that up with our industrial kitchen planning staff right this way, Mrs. Muir. Please, Mrs. Muir. Pardon us just for a moment, Miss Rutledge. Right this way, please.
What is this about a kitchen planning staff?
That woman is very important to me.
And my kitchen is very important to me. It's bubbling over and shorting out in every direction. It has to be fixed.
Trivia. Do you realize that Miss Moneybags herself is sitting out there in my office?
Claymore, we cannot stand to work in that kitchen one day longer.
Mrs. Muir, the rent you pay doesn't even cover the taxes. When you took Gull Cottage, you agreed to take it as is.
So I'm willing to pay for all the improvements myself.
I'm sorry, You'll pay for it yourself? This way, please.
Rewire wall fixtures.
Rewire all wall fixtures.
And replace exhaust fan over stove.
Oh, replace exhaust fan over stove. Now that's it, Mr. Peavy. Those are the things that Mrs. Muir wants fixed.
Hey, excepting for new circuit breakers.
Ah. New circuit breakers. You know, Mr. Peavy, she's a very fine tenant, and she deserves the best. So I am going to add new light switches, new sockets, new base plugs, and the finest copper wire throughout.
Well, that's very nice of you, Claymore.
And I'll only charge her 10% above cost.
You're all hot, Claymore.
I have to leave room for contingencies. Oh, reminds me, contingencies. $30.
Oh, what's the bad news, Claymore?
Oh, hello, Mrs. Muir.
Muir?
Just let me recheck these figures, and I'll be right
Seem like
with
an
you.
expensive job, Mr. Peavy?
Well, that all depends, Mrs. Muir, on contingencies.
Petey, go to your truck. Just please, one moment, Mrs. Muir. There you are, Mrs. Muir, your complete estimate. Now, that includes the tax and a very modest profit for me as your general contractor. That's quite reasonable, yes?
No. It seems very high to me.
Well, there is a logical explanation, Mrs. Muir.
Yes, you're gouging.
No, it's just, it's him. Mrs. Muir, he is always around.
Captain Gray?
Shh, please. Don't you realize that workmen are frightened to come here, Mrs. Muir? That's what makes the price higher. You are paying a terror tax.
Terror tax?
You larcenous sea slug! You pilfering pirate!
You see what he does, Mrs. Muir? Is it any wonder that no workman will come here?
You money gouging grub! Out! Out! Terror tax indeed.
Well, in all fairness, workmen don't exactly flock here to see you walk through walls.
If they do their jobs properly, they have nothing to fear from me.
Would you define your use of the word properly?
I do not wish the beauty and charm of this galley to be destroyed.
Oh, neither do I. I love this kitchen. I just want to see the inner workings do their inner work. Agreed?
Agreed.
It is high.
Come on, Hop. Get out, Hop. Work ain't gonna do itself.
Ed, I don't know about going in there. Closer I get to Gull Cottage, the more I remember the stories and rumors about the ghost.
Ain't nothing but a lot of Halloween hogwash, Hop. Now, you took this job for money, eh? Let's go.
Well, I'd like to go, but my legs aren't convinced.
Now, listen to me, Hop. I've been out here lots of times, eh? Nothing real peculiar's ever happened. Now, get going.
Well, are you sure, Ed? I mean, are you really sure about the ghost is coming? Ed, service!
Careful of my kite, Mr. Burroughs. Yeah, don't break it. Can we have it back?
Sure, Jonathan, if Hob's through playing with it. Give him the kite, Hob. Come on, Hob.
Hey, kids, have you noticed anything strange around here lately?
Like moaning from the attic?
Yeah.
And chains clanking down the hallway?
Yeah.
And footsteps creaking on the stairs at night?
Yeah.
No. Bye.
How long will we be dining on frozen enchiladas and pizzas before this kitchen's done, Mr. Peavy?
Oh, 3, maybe 4 days, Martha.
I don't like it, Ed. Something terrible is going to happen. I feel it.
Will you relax? Martha, tell him. You ever seen anything strange or peculiar around here?
Not to speak of. But I expect I will after 4 days of frozen enchiladas and pizzas.
I still say something is going to happen.
Something's gonna happen, all right, Hob.
What, Ed? What?
You ain't gonna get paid, that's what. Now get back to work, will you, Hob?
Hey, look what I found! That is neat.
What's that? Did you hear that?
I heard a thump. A little thump, Hob. All houses have thumps and things.
Hear that? Those are chains. And you know who drags chains.
Will you cut it out, Hog? Now you're getting me nervous. Now cut it out, will you?
Scruffy! 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 Hey, Mr. Scruffy!
He's coming after us!
Wait for me, Hog!
Bye, Mrs. Muir.
Mr. Burroughs? Mr. Peavy, what happened?
I'm not sure, Mrs. Muir, but we're taking no chances.
You broke your word. You frightened the workmen right out of the house.
I did no such thing. I haven't budged from this spot for over an hour.
You didn't creak or groan?
Of course not. Am I to be blamed every time a quivering squid jumps at his own shadow?
You're sure that's all it was?
Madam, do you doubt me?
Well, something scared them out, and you're the logical...
I shall remove myself at once from the combat area.
Well, don't go away mad.
I am not mad. A little hurt, perhaps. But not mad.
Will you stay in or out? You're making me dizzy.
Madam, I shall move out until the kitchen is finished.
Oh, no, I thought our luncheon discussion was very fruitful, Miss Rutledge. When may I hope to see you again, please? Sailing? You mean on the water? You really make deals at sea? Oh, no, naturally I'm a good sailor. Oh, no. You see, the sea runs in the Gregg blood, Miss Rutledge. Until tomorrow, then. Nighty-night.
So the sea runs in the Gregg blood, does it?
That's what I said. What are you doing here?
You flotsam-faced fake! The only water in your blood is on your knees.
Oh, yes, sir. Anything you say, sir. Now, why are you haunting me?
Because, my dear fellow, since you have always maintained that you are my only living relative, I have decided to be your house guest.
My house guest? What did I ever do to deserve that?
I thought you'd be delighted. Ugh, what an appalling mess.
Well, I've been busy.
You really must shape up to get these quarters shipshape, my lad.
Is that why you are here?
Looks like a Calcutta pest house. The great pretender must run a tidy ship.
That's really very good. I hope I can keep it that way.
I wouldn't dream of depriving you of the pleasure of getting it that way. Now clean, you swamp.
Yes, sir. Oh, yes, sir. I'm cleaning, sir. I'm cleaning. See, look how I'm cleaning.
Move, you barnacle, move.
Yes, sir. I'm
Six bells, rise and shine.
Oh, don't wake me, stewardess. I've seen the movie.
The day's half over.
What are you doing? Ooh, I'm freezing.
I have just the thing to warm your bones. And to put the roses back in your cheeks. An ice-cold shower.
Oh, no. Oh, no, please, Captain. No, me, no. Oh, no, not that, please. No, Captain. No, if ice cold water hits his body, it'll shatter. Oh, no, mercy. Please, mercy, no, Captain.
Don't worry about this mess, ladies. As soon as I get the wiring in, we'll put it all back together again, as good as new.
You should replace it in solid gold, Ed Peavy. Charging extra to come back to work.
Well, don't be too hard on Martha. The bonus is my idea.
Besides, that was the only way we could get Hav back to work. Right, Hav?
I don't want to talk. I just want to finish and get out of here.
Oh, no.
Sure came apart, didn't it?
So would you if you were 150 years old.
Well, that's the burning question. How much is it going to cost to fix?
Well, I couldn't replaster for less than $50 plus material, Mrs. Muir.
On what stone is that written?
Well, you might as well go ahead. It's only money.
Captain, I want... Captain? You-hoo, Captain, are you here? Captain? I've got to go out for about a month or so. Bye.
Drop your anchor, mate. Now, you need a man's breakfast under that belt. Sit.
Oh, no, but I have several things to do, sir.
Sit.
Oh, yes, sir, I'm sitting.
You need something that'll stick to your ribs.
Oh, but I don't like sticky ribs.
Seaman's food will turn a sickly landlubber into a sturdy deckhand. Now, dig in with a will.
Oh, I very seldom have breakfast. Just some hot water with lemon juice, perhaps, and some gluten toast with just a spot of quince jam.
Sissy stuff. I'm going to make a man of you. Now eat!
Oh, I'm eating. What is it? Gray food makes me nervous.
Salt mackerel fried in lard.
Oh.
Pickled onions, hardtack, and a tankard of sour brown ale.
Oh. It sounds so tempting. Oh, it smells so delicious. But you know what happened? The cold shower shrunk my stomach.
Eat, you puny pelican, eat!
Yes, sir, I'm eating. It's so delicious. It's so succulent. Would you take the head off?
Well, I think you've replaced television, Mr. Peavy. You kids been enjoying the show?
You bet, Mom. Mr. Peavy touched some wires and got blue sparks. Everything started to smoke.
Oh, terrific. How much is that performance going to cost, Mr. Peavy?
On the house, Mrs. Muir.
Well, would it be on the house if you were to fix the water pressure? It's terribly low.
Oh, I'll fix it, Mrs. Muir. It'll only take a minute.
Oh, great. I won't offer to help this time. I didn't do too well with that fuse box.
First, we turn the master valve to high pressure. Then we make a little turn like this.
Say this, Mrs. Muir, but I think your pipes must have rusted away. You've got a problem, Mrs. Muir.
Well, it's nothing that can't be fixed if I sell my car and my life insurance.
There. Are you satisfied?
Finish your ale.
Finish your ale. Now, please, may I be excused?
A few days of good solid food, and you'll be a new man.
I wasn't through with the old one. Oh. May I lie down, please?
No, you may not, you sponge-spine jellyfish. Your boilers have been stoked. A little brisk exercise is in order.
Oh, no.
I think you must clear out and move those muscles. A little brisk jogging down at the beach.
On a stomach full of gray food? Oh, Miss Rutledge. Coming!
Good morning, Mr. Gregg. The wind is high and the sea is rough. Perfect day for a hard sail. Isn't that marvelous?
Marvelous. I'm just dying to go. I'm dying.
Then get on with it.
Whoa! Whoa!
That's what I call enthusiasm.
What have you done to my beautiful galley?
You don't know what we've been going through.
You said a little wiring, a little plumbing. You're tearing the place apart.
I had no idea it was going to be this big a job. But there's some things in this kitchen that are 100 years old.
You said you liked it the way it was.
Well, I do. But it's going to take every cent I have and then some to make it function properly.
Really?
Why didn't you put in copper plumbing?
Madam, 100 years ago, we had no plumbing. Now, if you'll excuse me.
I wish I could do that.
No glass for me.
Oh, I'm terribly sorry. What are you doing here? Now, I thought you left. See, the place is neat. Drop in again some year.
What a charming way to welcome an alleged ancestor just back from the sea. My, it's good to be home again.
Can't you see I have a date? Miss Rutledge is coming over on business.
Splendid. We'll greet her together.
Together? Why don't you go home or back to sea?
I am not leaving here, you money-gouging sand shark.
Mr. Gregg.
Greet the lady.
Oh.
Good evening, Mr. Gregg.
Welcome, welcome, Miss Rutledge. Won't you please come in? Of course. Oh, it must be the draft.
Champagne.
Uh-huh.
Are you one of those men I've heard about? The sun goes down and the tiger comes out.
Oh, no. With me, the tiger is a pussycat. You'll find me a gentleman down to my bootstraps.
We'll see about that.
Who is that?
Oh, it came with the frame.
To my tiger with glasses?
Mm-hmm. She must be an animal trainer. Won't you sit down?
I'm not sure I should.
Oh, you'll find me perfectly harmless, I assure you, Miss Rutledge. I chose the flowers especially for you.
They're very nice.
Thank you.
Mr. Gregg?
It must be the bulb. Pardon me a moment. Oh, there you are. The bulb was loose. Ow!
Now you behave yourself.
No, but I...
Mr. Gregg, really?
No, forgive me, please, Miss Rutledge, but it's not me. I swear to you, I couldn't help myself. May I excuse myself just for a moment, please? Captain! 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 You are making a wolf out of a dear sweet lamb. It just simply isn't fair.
Do you think it's fair for Mrs. Muir to have to pay for your utter neglect of Gull Cottage?
So that's it. You want me to pay for her kitchen. All right, I'll pay. Just go. And don't ruin my deal with Miss Rutledge.
Very wise, Claymore. I'll so inform Mrs. Muir.
I'm terribly sorry, Miss Rutledge. Just a little matter with a big client of mine who's trying to pressure me into paying for something. But just between you and me, I'm not going to do it. I'll do it! Honest, I'll do it! I'll do it! I'll pay for her kitchen! I'll pay! All new light switches, Mrs. Muir.
Oh.
New copper wire throughout the kitchen.
Lovely.
Your plaster has been repaired. And, of course, your water.
Perfect. Oh, now there's just one more thing, Claymore. Mr. Peavy was going to put in a double socket for me.
Mrs. Muir, up to now, I have been a generous, open-handed pushover. But I'm afraid the party is over.
The lady requires a double socket.
There is a point at which a man must take a stand. Go ahead, do your worst. Terrify me, send me careening through those doors, but I will not spend one more cent.
Terrify you, dear boy? I've grown very fond of you. In fact, I've been thinking of setting up my permanent residence at your house.
Over my dead body? Ooh. I mean, over your dead body. All right, you'll have your double socket in the morning.